If you've seen my video on the best anti-aging foods for the skin, you know that I am pretty much into nutrition, all into nutrition when it comes to anti-aging, but also longevity and health. I am very into just the idea of a holistic approach to not only anti-aging, but just overall health and well-being, longevity, health and wellness. That is sort of my goal when it comes to anti-aging. And I know I've somewhat explained on this channel before what I mean by anti-aging. It's more than just about the visible aspect. It is all about just improving the overall quality and experience of one's life. And that's sort of my goal when it comes to anything that I do. I'm very intentional. And you can see that when I share these foods with you that are coming up right now, I'm very intentional with what I choose to eat, what I choose to put into my body. That not only includes the foods that I eat, but also, what I put into my mind, what I watch on TV, in movies, what the music that I listen to, the social interactions that I partake in. I'm very intentional about what I'm allowed into my body because I know that anything on the outside is going to be a manifestation of what is on the inside. And like I mentioned, I thought it would be helpful if I could just share with you the foods that I eat on a regular basis. A lot of these foods I rotate and I'm not eating every single day. I have a lot to get through, so I'm gonna try and be quick with each food that I consume. But I do eat on a rotating basis, and I do believe in the power of just accumulated effort, meaning that the more you do things consistently, even if it's not every single day, but if you do it consistently throughout time, you're going to reap long-term benefits from it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on the foods that I eat for anti-aging. I'll go ahead and just do the produce first because I have to get that back in the refrigerator. But one thing that I get every single week at Whole Foods is 2 pounds of raw broccoli. The reason why I like raw broccoli, there's a few reasons. When it comes to anti-aging, there is a free radical theory of aging, and it suggests that free radical damage of the cells, of the skin, of tissues leads to accumulated aging. One of the reasons why I like to choose raw broccoli and raw vegetation just in general is because broccoli contains a compound called sulforaphane, which activates NRF2, the NRF2 pathway and the NRF2 genes. And this sort of orchestrates endogenous antioxidant enzymes that can help to fight free radicals, namely hydrogen peroxide, but other free radicals and oxidative damage in the body and the skin. Broccoli also contains a good amount of folate. Folic acid. Folate is the natural form found in vegetables. Folate helps to reduce homocysteine, which increases, it's a marker for inflammation. There's also an inflammation theory of aging, meaning that in addition to free radical damage, UV, inflammation also drives skin aging and also the pathogenesis of aging. So it contributes to that. So for anti-aging, I try to choose foods that are high in folate as well as sulforaphane. And that's another reason why I also get a pound of raw baby spinach every week when I go to the store, because it is also super high in folate. It's also high in vitamin A. Vitamin A, I think beta carotene is the natural form found in the plants. Your skin is already enriched in beta carotene, but oral supplementation or intake of beta carotene and vitamin A can also help further enrich the skin, which protects it from UV. Beta carotene, vitamin A, it's a carotenoid that can protect the skin against UVA and UVB, which is a primary driver of skin aging. So I try to choose things that are high in vitamin A. I also get about a pound of raw organic carrots every week too, that I sometimes put in smoothies or eat with hummus or just eat plain. And that also contains a good amount of vitamin A, beta carotene. But the tip with vitamin A is that it's fat soluble. So consuming it with a little bit of fat like olive oil or healthy fat like avocado can help to just improve the absorption and the bioavailability of that beta carotene. Speaking of carotenoids, I also have been chewing these sun-dried tomatoes. These are super dried traditional sun-dried tomatoes. There's nothing else on them. Like, you can buy sun-dried tomatoes in the jar, which has other things added to it, like maybe oils or sugars. I like to just get the dried if you can find them. I got them in the produce section at like a specialty gourmet supermarket that was around here. I eat maybe a couple of them every day or every other day. These have actually dried out so much that I don't know if I can chew them anymore, but I do like to reach for sun-dried tomatoes as well as these like cherry tomatoes, the raw cherry tomatoes, because these are super high in lycopene. In fact, sun-dried tomatoes, as well as blended and cooked tomatoes, in addition to tomato paste, these contain high amounts of lycopene, which is another carotenoid that the skin is also enriched in. And lycopene also in the skin helps to protect it against UV, against pollution in the environment. So it's really important for me to consume vitamin or lycopene-rich foods like tomatoes, like tomato products, because that just further enriches the skin and helps it with anti-aging purposes. And then for my fruit, which I eat for dessert occasionally with some dark chocolate, is just organic blueberries. I think these are organic, yeah. And blueberries, you're probably aware of, are super high in antioxidants, very low in sugar. I try to choose for, fruit consumption, I try to choose low sugar fruits. Like sometimes I will consume bananas in a smoothie, but it's bound with other things like fiber, fat, and protein to help just reduce that impact of sugar on the skin and glycation and everything like that. But with blueberries, it's super low in sugar. I eat about 70 grams in one sitting, which I think is half a serving, might be half a cup, don't quote me on that. But blueberries are also high in flavonols, polyphenols, antioxidants that can protect the skin against UV. It also has some longevity benefits. I know a lot of like blue zones, people who live to like 100, consume nutrient-dense, antioxidant-rich berries as their fruit consumption of choice, in addition to other like plant-based nuts, seeds, healthy fats like olive oil. So again, like for dessert, like in the evening, I will eat maybe 70 grams of organic blueberries, in addition to maybe 10 to 15 grams of dark chocolate. And I'm talking about super dark chocolate, which I'm gonna get into in just a second. Okay, as promised, I might as well just hit this now. This is my chocolate collection. This isn't all the chocolate. I'm actually running low on chocolate, but this is all the chocolate that I have at the moment. And this is all 92 to 100% dark chocolate. So this is just organic cacao powder that I get from Whole Foods. This is the store brand 365. Nothing remarkable about this other than it is a powerful superfood. Cocoa powder, chocolate, I am very, very passionate about. If you've seen any of my other anti-aging videos or my anti-aging foods videos or vlogs here on this channel, you know how gung-ho I am about chocolate and the health benefits of chocolate, in addition to the anti-aging benefits of chocolate. Not only is cacao or chocolate, dark chocolate, good for like cardiovascular health, the neurological health, it's also great for the skin, great for protecting the skin against UV. There have been studies showing that the consumption of cocoa polyphenols can help protect the skin against UV, maybe even to a certain extent pollutants in the environment, which also drive the visible aspect of aging. So for cocoa powder, I just use maybe a tablespoon per day. Cocoa can be somewhat high in, or chocolate, and in addition to spinach, can be high in oxalates. So if you're trying to avoid oxalates for whatever reason, or you're trying to reduce your oxalate consumption, chocolate and spinach raw spinach might not be like the best option for you. But for me, I consume about 1 tablespoon, just 1 tablespoon a day in hot chocolate. And I combine it with maybe 15 grams of 100% cacao, this dark chocolate, which is the Alter Eco organic dark chocolate. This is 100%, so there's no sugar added. I also like the Navita's Naturals brand of 100% cacao chocolate. And these are the wafers, organic cacao wafers. And the only ingredient is certified organic cacao beans, and it's a product of Peru and the Netherlands. And so these come in, I'll just show you. These come in like little wafers, and I will either eat these as a snack or I will drop them into some almond milk. I'll heat that up, melt it, and then add a tablespoon of this cacao powder and make some hot chocolate out of it, which I don't sweeten. I don't even put stevia in it. Here's another brand of dark chocolate that I love. They make baking chocolate, and this is, can you see that? This is just 100%. This is the Guittard. They also have 100%, I believe, chocolate chips, which sometimes I will put in chocolate chip cookies because I don't need the sweetness. I've been able to train my taste buds to a certain extent to not need sugar and to really be super sensitive to sugar and sweets that I don't even need stevia. Just another brand of chocolate that I like. This is the Beyond Good. This is 92% dark chocolate, and I got this because I saw it in the produce section at Whole Foods the other day. And I've had this before, but this is just like little wafers as well. And I'll just snack on these, like, whoops. I'll just snack on these for dessert, maybe with like blueberries, like I was saying earlier. Love chocolate. It is, it's not super high in caffeine, but it does have caffeine. So if you're avoiding that for whatever reason, for skin health, for anti-aging, caffeine actually does have anti-aging benefits because there's antioxidants in that caffeine, and it may have some neurological benefits as well. But I think like when you overdo caffeine, it can stimulate the adrenal glands and just cause more anxiety and stress. At least it does for me. I think in sensitive individuals like me, I really have to be careful about my caffeine intake because my body can't really handle a ton of caffeine. I think that's one reason why I switched from coffee lately to black tea, which also has some fantastic benefits for the skin. I drink maybe a cup of black tea and maybe even a cup of white tea every single day for the past few days, just as my sort of caffeine coffee alternative. It does have caffeine, but albeit at low levels. And surprisingly enough, tea, black tea, white tea, green tea has been shown to inhibit MMPs, which are matrix metalloproteinases. These are enzymes in the skin that are activated by UV, by pollution, by visible light that degrade collagen. And the inhibition of them may, through oral means or through nutritional means like tea, may help to just protect the skin, protect the collagen in your skin, and play a long-term beneficial role in anti-aging efforts. Speaking of things that are super, super dark, I've been using this black garlic for the past few months. I haven't gone through it just yet because I don't know if you've heard of black garlic or if you read into black garlic. It's supposed to be a superfood, and there are some studies suggesting that it has fantastic antioxidant properties, so that might be beneficial for skin and anti-aging. I have been going through this very slowly because there are about 24 servings in here. I think it's like, they're bulbs, so it's like, I'll show you what they look like. This is what they look like. I think a serving is 3 of these. It smells beautiful, but I wasn't aware how sweet they are. I mean, they taste so sweet. They don't taste really like, they smell like garlic, but they don't taste like you're eating cooked garlic or anything. They taste super sweet. They're super soft. Like, I don't even know what I can liken it to. They're super sweet because they contain 13 grams of sugar per serving, which is 3 of them. So it's about like a little over 4 grams of sugar per one of these balls. So I don't eat these every day. I, again, rely on the accumulated effect of them, the accumulated antioxidant effect of them. I think I saw a study showing that it helps to protect against free radical damage, inhibition of the hydrogen peroxide, and the increase of catalase, which is an endogenous antioxidant in the body that breaks down hydrogen peroxide and ushers it along the way without damaging any tissues and damaging the skin and the hair. Unsurprisingly, hydrogen peroxide, a free radical, plays a significant role in the graying process of the hair, or gray hair, because the accumulation of hydrogen peroxide contributes to the whitening of the hairs, but catalase, which is that endogenous antioxidant, can break that down. So it's theorized that by increasing your catalase levels, in addition to other endogenous antioxidants, may help to prevent or delay gray hair. There's not a ton of studies on that. In fact, there's not many, if at all, research studies on that, but it is a theory given the mechanism of action regard to the gray hair. But that being said, I make sure to do things nutritionally to increase that catalase, like the broccoli and the broccoli sprouts, which contain high amounts of sulforaphane. And I actually sprout my own broccoli sprouts. This is the broccoli seeds that I get on Amazon. This is the Rainbow Heirloom Seeds, Waltham 29 broccoli sprout seeds, and I'm actually sprouting some right now in my kitchen sink. These are powerful. Side note, so sulforaphane, which is found in broccoli sprouts, it's found in broccoli, it's found in like cruciferous vegetables like Brussels sprouts and cabbage, I believe. It can activate melatonin to a significant degree. I found this out the hard way. The other day, I had like 4 to 5, I was trying to get to about 1 pound of vegetation or vegetables per day, which I tend to do. I tend to do about 1 pound of raw vegetation per day, and that includes low sugar fruits like blueberries and avocados and things like that, in addition to seeds and nuts. I got like maybe 4 to 5 grams or 4 to 5 ounces of broccoli sprouts that I made at home. And then I got 4 to 5, maybe even 6 ounces of broccoli. And I was falling asleep by 7:30. That never happens to me. I was on the couch, Jacob was watching football, I was falling asleep. It never happens to me. I never fall asleep that early, that easily. And I read that the sulforaphane in broccoli sprouts, cruciferous vegetables, can significantly increase melatonin in the brain from the pineal gland, make you super, super sleepy. The reason why I'm saying that is melatonin is a powerful anti-aging antioxidant. There are some studies suggesting that melatonin can help to fight free radical damage and fight the components of visible aging. So fight wrinkles, fight elasticity loss, and improve the youthfulness and vitality of the skin. So I've been very diligent as of lately to try and make sure I'm doing what I can to increase my melatonin, but I have to do so in a logical way where I'm not falling asleep at 7:30 every night. But in addition to that night, I also took a broccoli seed extract supplement. I was like maybe 35 grams. And I think that just sort of threw me over the edge, and I was like super melatoninized out. It was kind of crazy. So just word of warning, if you are deciding to incorporate things like broccoli sprouts, broccoli seed extract, or just broccoli into your diet or into your routine, make sure to do so moderately and don't make the mistake that I did unless you're wanting to improve your sleep efforts, because sleep is so powerful when it comes to anti-aging. These are the salts that I use. In addition to these, I also use pink Himalayan salt because it also contains minerals, but this is the Redmond real salt. This is a kosher sea salt. Contains a high amount of minerals. The Celtic sea salt also contains a lot of trace minerals. I think it's like over 80, if not 90 trace minerals. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments section below. But because I don't eat a lot of processed foods, in fact, I don't really eat processed foods at all that contain sodium, I have to rely on my own addition of salt to my foods, to my recipes, because if not, I'm not getting enough salt. And salt is essential for a lot of metabolic and biological processes in the body. And I would argue that salt is also really important for anti-aging just by its way of longevity, because it does support health. You know, you need sodium. You don't need sugar, you don't need carbs, but you do need sodium. So restricting that to a very significant or considerable degree may not be the best thing health-wise, anti-aging-wise, longevity-wise. So I make sure to incorporate enough salt. I get my sodium levels measured and monitored, so I make sure that, you know, I'm doing good there. I'm actually kind of low on sodium, so I definitely need to up my salt intake, but I just don't see, it's just hard for me to find the opportunity to do so. The trace mineral salts, I add these to my salads, my smoothies. I make sure to add them to everything. I even know people who add like maybe half a teaspoon of salt, of sea salt, to their water every morning. I don't do that. I don't like to drink salt water, but that's something that a lot of people do for health purposes. Okay, I am actually soaking some garbanzo beans right now, but I do incorporate a lot of beans into my diet. I just cook dried beans, or I'll rely on canned beans occasionally, but I tend to cook dried beans. The reason why is because beans are legumes, particularly garbanzo beans, which I have soaking right now to make hummus. These are super high in folate. And if you remember, folate is that B vitamin that I talked about earlier that's high in the spinach and in like green vegetables, spinach, broccoli. And folate may help to lower that homocysteine level, which may ultimately help to lower inflammation. And inflammation or inflammaging is a primary driver of skin aging. So I try to incorporate as many folate-rich foods like legumes, like green vegetables into my diet to support anti-aging efforts. Sunflower seed kernels, love these. About an ounce, which is a serving or a fourth of a cup, contains 70% of your daily value for vitamin E. Another fat-soluble vitamin, super powerful for protecting the skin against UV, protecting the hair, skin, and nails, and just promoting the overall youthfulness and vitality of the skin. Chia seeds, high in omega-3s. This has a good omega-3 to omega-6 ratio, both fatty acids. Omega-6s tend to be more pro-inflammatory, but a good balanced intake of omega-3s and omega-6s can be super beneficial for the hair, for the skin, for the nails. So I make sure to include both plant-based as well as animal-based, like fish, sardines, and krill mainly, into my diet to ensure that intake of omega-3s and omega-6s. Black sesame seeds, I was turned on to this by Jennifer Meyer. If you watch Jennifer Meyer here on YouTube, she's also into natural, holistic, anti-aging, health-related content. She puts a lot of that out on her channel, and we sort of align on a lot of things. So I never heard of black sesame seeds. She swears by these in terms of keeping her hair dark. She said that her grandmother eats black sesame seeds and I think black tahini on a regular basis. I actually made black tahini recently with this, and I bought it too. I'll try and leave the brand of black tahini that I buy occasionally here on YouTube. I'll try and put it in the description section below, but she swears by it in terms of reducing or preventing gray hair. She said that her grandmother swore by it in terms of keeping her hair black throughout her whole life, and I think that's what she said, so correct me if I'm wrong. But I think, you know, I found some studies suggesting that black sesame seeds may help to increase catalase, which again helps to reduce the hydrogen peroxide, which contributes to the hair graying process. And also, black sesame seeds seem to be a good source of healthy omega-6 fatty acids, which again are good for the skin, good for protecting the skin against UV, UVA, UVB damage, in addition to those omega-3s. Now, my animal sources of omega-3s are these wild sardines, which I get. This is Henry and Lisa's. I get these at Whole Foods. I buy one every shopping trip. I have like 2 or 3 on hand at all times. The reason why I get these is because these have the skin and the bones, and when you get the skin attached to your fish like salmon or sardines, that's where a lot of the omega-3s lie. So you want to make sure that you're consuming the skin. If you're not vegan and you can be okay with fish, you can be okay with eating fish, sardines are a great source because they're younger, they're smaller, they haven't had as much time to accumulate the contaminants like mercury. So they're lower in mercury than other fish, and they're super high in omega-3s. They're in the skin, obviously. And if you get sardines with the bones, which are super soft, you can just chew them and eat them. It'll give you 45%, this can will give you 45% of your daily value of calcium, which is important for bone health. But in addition to calcium, you also need the vitamin D3, vitamin K2 from things like spinach, kale, those dark leafy greens. That helps to, all of those vitamins help to really get the calcium where it needs to be. This is like my #1 source of calcium, in addition to almonds that I eat on a fairly regular basis. 45% of your daily value of calcium, that's even more than a cup or a glass of milk. Okay, here I have my bag of Brazil nuts. So I only eat one a day. You only need one per day because these, just one of them contains about, I think, over 300% of your daily value of selenium, which is a powerful antioxidant, anti-aging nutrient. Selenium has been shown to support hair health, hair growth, as well as protect the skin against UV. So I only eat one of these a day because, again, it's over 300% of your daily value of selenium in just one kernel. And they're pretty small. I mean, they're bigger than an almond, but I think they're tasty. Make sure you don't overdo it on selenium because there is selenium toxicity and you can overdo it. And I've heard that if you get too much selenium, it can lead to like opposite effects. It can lead to hair like fallout, and that's something you know, nobody's looking for. So make sure that if you're eating Brazil nuts, that you just need to take one at a time, one per day. I know Brian Johnson says that he overdid his selenium by just doing one Brazil nut a day, and so now he just does like a quarter of a Brazil nut a day. You can try and experiment with that. I tend to do maybe half to one every day. There are some times where I skip the days, and I think that's fine just because of the high amounts of selenium. Okay, and sometimes I also incorporate this nutritional yeast in my salads. I like this. It has a very cheesy taste. A lot of vegans use this because it's super high in B vitamins, as you can see here. It's a good vegan source of vitamin B12, as well as I think it has 70% of your daily value of folate, which 90% of your daily value of folate and 2 tablespoons. And again, like I've said previously, the folate may help to reduce that marker for inflammation in the body and in the skin. I sometimes make tea with these rosemary leaves, the organic rosemary leaves by Anthony's, which I get on Amazon. Rosemary is a powerful antioxidant. It contains a good amount of polyphenols that help protect the skin against UV, against visible light, against pollution. It's just a very, very versatile herb in terms of anti-aging. And here's my almond butter I was just mentioning. This is the almond butter I get at Whole Foods, organic almond butter. It's in a plastic packaging, so if you're not into that, you may need to just reach for glass, which I sometimes do. But this is just unsweetened. I think it's organic dry roasted almonds. Good source of vitamin E, good source of calcium. I love almond butter. So Jennifer Meyer, she talked about how she would take maybe a shot glass of olive oil, or how she takes a shot glass of olive oil every single day, like medicine. I also do consume olive oil on a regular basis for those monounsaturated fats. Olive oil is also super, super high in antioxidants and has been shown to protect the skin against UV, that primary key driver of aging. I feel like there's a pattern here, but again, I'm very intentional when it comes to my consumption of certain foods and its ability to protect my skin, protect my hair, and just provide those anti-aging benefits. I don't drink olive oil just because it's super spicy. I always choose the extra virgin olive oil, and I don't drink it because extra virgin olive oil is super spicy, and I can handle spice, but it's like a different kind of spice that makes you choke in the back of your throat and you can't stop for hours. So I don't drink this, but I do just sprinkle it on my salads, sprinkle it over foods. And if I have some sort of dish where I think it will pair well, I will not sprinkle it, but I'll pour some olive oil over it, about a tablespoon or so, almost every day. And in terms of like my junk food, my favorite like junk food, this is a cereal that I eat on a regular basis. This is the Catalina Crunch. This is the cinnamon Toast Crunch version, and they have other things. They have like cookies that are supposed to mimic Oreos, which I don't know if I can say. Well, I'm not affiliated with them, so I can't say that. But Catalina Crunch, it's not sweetened. It's only sweetened with stevia and monk fruit extract, so there's no sugar alcohols. Super high in protein. It has 11 grams of protein, only 5 grams of digestible net carbs in a serving. It's not as like sweet or soft. It's super crunchy. It's not like regular cereal made from cornflakes or anything like that, because this is made from pea protein, by the way. There's no way, this is a vegan food, I believe. There's no animal products, and yeah, it's made from pea protein and potato fiber and corn fiber and chicory root fiber. So it is a good source of fiber, and these plant-based fibers, which are prebiotics, help to just promote the probiotics or the good bacteria in the gut, which is incredibly important for anti-aging because probiotics have considerable benefits for the skin and for skin anti-aging. And these other like junk foods that I have been consuming recently are these drink mixes. These are the electrolyte drink mixes by Ultima. I get these at Whole Foods. There's probably a more cost-efficient way of buying this, like in a tub or something, but I get these packages when they're often on sale for like 62 cents each, and they are delicious. So they are different flavors. They are sweet. They're sweetened with stevia. They don't have any sugar alcohols, but they have a lot of vitamins. It's almost like a multivitamin pack. It's a good source of magnesium. Magnesium, 25% of your daily value of magnesium, 10% for zinc, both of which are great for anti-aging and for the skin. Magnesium may help to sort of reduce anxiety to a certain extent, which, you know, anxiety can contribute to aging, the visible signs of aging as well. So incorporating more magnesium-rich foods is definitely a priority for me. It's also great for cardiovascular health as well. So I have to say that this blue raspberry one, if you mix half of this into 16 ounces of water and half of a lemon, the juice of half of a lemon, it tastes just like a Jolly Rancher. It is crazy. I haven't had a Jolly Rancher in forever because I don't eat candy or sugar, but this tastes incredibly so much like Jolly Rancher. And I only use half of a package, again, in like 16 ounces of water because a full package is just far too sweet for me in 16 ounces or 2 cups of water. So I tend to break this up into about 4 cups every single day of water, of liquid. Really helps you to get your water intake in, but it is sweet. It is sweetened with stevia. So if you're trying to avoid that for whatever reason, just keep that in mind. Also, something else that I get at Whole Foods for my omega-3s are these wild-caught sockeye salmon fillets. And these are frozen. I tend to prefer fresh salmon from like the fish bar market. For this, I tend to choose frozen just for the convenience. Like maybe at lunch I might want to cook it up. It doesn't cook as well as fresh, but it is good because it has the skin attached to it and it is wild caught. And I think it also has astaxanthin, that's the pink reddish color of the salmon, which is naturally present. Astaxanthin, powerful antioxidant for the skin, great for protecting the skin against UVA, the ultimate driver of skin aging. I think like 90% of skin aging is driven by UVA, as well as visible light. So omega-3s, astaxanthin, fantastic. You're also getting, I don't think these have bones, so you're not getting the calcium, but you're also getting a good source of protein. And for dishes that call for rice, like white rice, I tend not to choose rice just because of the high carb content and its effects on blood sugar and insulin and everything like that. So I choose just like rice cauliflower, which I just buy the frozen. I mean, it's so much easier. I have a ricer attachment on my like Vitamix, it's not Vitamix, but well, yeah, it's Vitamix food processor. So I have an attachment for that, but it's just too much effort. Like sometimes I will do it from fresh, but frozen is just as good. And it's super low in carbs. You're also getting a high amount of vitamin C, 45% of your daily value of vitamin C in 3/4 of a cup. Vitamin C plays an important role in collagen synthesis. So increasing vitamin C rich foods. I also eat bell peppers as well as the broccoli has vitamin C in it, is incredibly important for skin anti-aging. And that does it. That seems to be it. That's a glimpse into what I eat on a rotating but regular basis. Again, I'm very consistent with this. I don't eat sugar. I eat very few carbs just because low insulin levels have been linked to longevity and health and wellness and, you know, anti-aging and things like that. So I try to really maximize my healthy fats, my good sources of proteins, both plant sources as well as animal sources of protein like fish. And in addition to that, I also try to make sure I'm just increasing my overall vegetable and vegetation intake because those are super high in not only fiber, but vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, which are incredibly fantastic for anti-aging and skin health. If you like this video, please hit that like button down below. Let me know what foods you eat that we sort of align on, or if there's other foods that you think I should try out. Let me know if I missed anything. And until next video, I hope you have a great one. I'll see you later. Bye.